Hello, my name is Christine Garrett. The purpose of this video is to demonstrate two transfers. The first one is a supine to sit position. This is where someone is laying on their back and they are helped into a seated position. In this instance, the person is laying on their back in the bed and I will help them get into a seated position on the edge of the bed. The purpose of this transfer is to prep for the next transfer, which is a stand pivot transfer into a seated position on another surface. This is where I will help the client stand and then I will help them pivot into, in this instance, a chair, but it could also be a wheelchair or other seated surface. I would also like to demonstrate the purpose of bed mobility and how important it is. The purpose of bed mobility is to help maintain alignment of vulnerable joints that the person may have. It also increases comfort and range of motion, as well as helps put them in different postural positions. It also helps prevent things like bed sores and deformities that may happen from laying in the bed in one position for too long. I will demonstrate each transfer and explain what I'm doing along the way. Hello, Mr. Garrett. How are you?
I'm well, how are you?
Good. My name is Christine, and I'm here to help you get into this chair right here. So the first thing we're going to do is get you into a seated position on the edge of the bed. Okay. So the first thing I will do is ask the client to bend their knees up, and I will help them with as much as they need me to. Alright, so can you just bend your knee up, place your foot flat, and then bend this knee and place your foot flat. The next step is to position the person's arms to the side that I will be rolling them to, which will be the next step. Alright, so can you place your arm to the side, and then go ahead and place your arm across your body. In the next step, I will take my left hand and place it under the person's shoulder, and my right hand, I will place it under the person's hip. And then I will roll the person onto their side. All right, on the count of three, we're gonna roll. 1, 2, 3. Once the person is on their side, the next step is to bring their legs to the side of the bed so that we can then help them sit up. Alright, so the next thing I'm going to do is just bring your legs out to the side. Alright, then after that's done, you want to take your arm that's closest to the client's head and place your hand underneath their shoulder. And you can even go farther up the arm if they need more assistance so that you can help them get to the sitting position. Alright, so now I'm just going to place my arm under your shoulder. Alright, and on the count of 3, we're going to sit up. 1, 2, 3. Okay, once the person is sitting up, have them place their hands on the edge of the bed. So can you place your hands on either side of you? This is to help stabilize them and so they don't fall over to either side. The next step is to scoot the person to the edge of the bed as far as you can safely, to where their feet are flat on the floor. If the person needs help moving to the edge of the bed, you'll just place your hands on either hip and move them to the edge of the bed in a scooting position, side by side. Alright, so the next step, I'm just going to place my hands on your hips so that we can move to the edge of the bed for the next transfer.
Okay.
And then now we can transfer. once the person's feet are flat on the floor and they are stabilized on the bed, now we need to put on the gait belt. To put on a gait belt, you'll put it around the client and then use the locking mechanism so that you can tighten it around them. You'll want to tighten it until you can fit about only 2 or 3 fingers in between the belt and the person. This is to help hold on to whenever you're transferring the person for safety. So the next step is pivoting into the chair. You'll want to have the chair as close as possible to where the person is sitting, and slightly slanted so that it will be an easy pivot into the chair. Alright, so if the person's feet are already together, go ahead and put the feet together. And then next, you want to put your feet on either side of the person's feet. Then you'll push your knees into the person's knees as leverage whenever you stand with them to pivot into the chair. If the person is able to push off of the bed to help stand, then ask them to do so. If not, then they can place their arms around on your shoulders so that you can so that their weight is put onto you to help transfer into the seat. Can you use your hands to push up?
Yes.
Okay. So then on the count of 3, you'll want to squat down and then have the person push off of the bed, and you will lift with the person and pivot them into the seat. Okay. So on the count of 3, I want you to push up, and then I'm going to pull you up and pivot you into the seat. All right. 1, 2, 3. Once the person is in the chair, you'll want to make sure that they're comfortable and in a good seated position. Are you in a comfortable position?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. If they're sitting close to the edge, you can help them to scoot back so that they're sitting at a 90-degree angle. If they need any pillows or blankets to help with comfort, or propping an arm or with hips, then you can do so at this time. So after you've gotten the person into the chair, you can take off the gait belt, and then you're finished with the transfer. This concludes the demonstration video. If you have any, if you need any further clarification or have any questions, then feel free to call the clinic at 757-636-8065. If not, you can also send me an email at cmgarrett357@stkate.edu. Thank you.